of the ladies of Vrindavan when they met Krishna at Kurukshetra. Now again, with my limited sort of understanding, I had always considered that that was the preeminent mood during the observance of the Rath Yatra. You know, like Jagannath Temple is like Dwaraka or, you know, Kurukshetra, and they're putting Jagannath on the cart, and then they're pulling to Gundicha Mandir, which is Vrindavan. But he said that Mahaprabhu, he had that feeling continuously, constantly, and he just lived in that mood of separation from the Lord. So when I read that, gave me another sort of, you know, glimpse or sort of light that we as practicing devotees, we may have so many duties which we're supposed to perform. We may be sanctuary devotees, we may be cooks, we may be mothers, we may be accountants, or whatever our service is. But we should always live with a great eagerness within our hearts to be reunited with the Lord. And we should live in that way, and we should cultivate that type of eagerness to be with the Lord. Because Ramananda Roy does state in Chaitanya Charitamrita that there's really no other process of being able to reunite with the Lord other than to possess great eagerness. It's not by any type of pious activities or just good or bad things that we will do in millions and millions of births. He says, but the only price is to have loyam. And he says if that loyam is available in any place, you should purchase it without delay. Meaning become intensely eager to serve the Lord. And our understanding is that for all of us, that intense eagerness to serve the Lord can become manifest in our hearts if we will associate with devotees who have intense eagerness to serve the Lord. That is the process. If we will associate with devotees and if we will hear from devotees. And just focus our minds on that. Focus our minds on that association. Focus our minds on that service to Vaishnavas in that way. And then just focus very, very clearly on performing our service, which we have. And then, very naturally, all of these things will unfold from the heart. So let us read. Here he's talking about the travels of Lord Chaitanya. And he's talking about Lord Chaitanya's travel to South India. At Rameshwar, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a chance to read the Purna Purana, in which he discovered that the form of Sita kidnapped by Ravana was not that of the real Sita, but a mere shadow representation. Srila Prabhupada gives a short purport. He says the Karma Purana states that this shadowy Sita was placed into a fire as a test of chastity. It was Maya Sita who entered the fire, and it was the real Sita who came out of the fire. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very glad to read about the false Sita, and he remembered his meeting with Ramdas Vipra, who was very sorry that Mother Sita had been kidnapped by Ravana. Indeed, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu eagerly tore this page from the Karma Purana although the book was very old. And he later showed it to Ramdas Vipra, whose happiness was then mitigated. Lord Chaitanya was God. I guess he can tear pages out of Shastra if he wants to. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also found two other books, namely Sri Brahma Samhita and Sri Krishna Karnamrita. Knowing these books to be excellent, he took them to present to his devotees. Srila Prabhupada's purport. In the olden days, there were no presses, and all the important scriptures were handwritten and kept in large temples. Lord Chaitanya found Brahma Samhita and Krishna Karnamrita in handwritten texts, and knowing them to be very authoritative, he took them with him to present his devotees. Of course, he obtained permission from the temple commander. Prabhupada writes in that. He obtained permission from the temple commander. So if anyone wants to steal a book over here, please speak to the temple commander first. Now both the Brahma Samhita and Krishna Karnamrita are available in print with commentaries of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. After collecting these books, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to Jagannath Puri. At that time, he saw the bathing ceremony of Jagannath was taking place. He saw it. At that time, the bathing ceremony of Jagannath was taking place, and he saw it. When Jagannath was absent from the temple, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who could not see him, felt separation and left Jagannath Puri to go to the place known as Alalanath. Alalanath is also known as Brahmagiri. This place is about 14 miles from Jagannath Puri and is also on the beach. There is a temple of Jagannath there. At the present moment, a police station and a post office are situated there because so many people come to see the temple. The word Anavasara is used when Sri Jagannath Ji cannot be seen in the temple. After the bathing ceremony, which is called the Snan Yatra, Lord Jagannath apparently becomes sick. He is therefore removed from his private apartment. He is therefore removed to his private apartment where no one can see him. Actually, during this period, renovations are made on the body of the Jagannath deity. This is called Navayoganam. During the Rath Yatra ceremony, Lord Jagannath once again comes before the public. Thus, for 15 days after the bathing ceremony, Lord Jagannath is not visible to any visitors. Has anybody been to Puri during Rath Yatra? Has anyone seen Alalanath? You've seen? I've seen also. Previously, well, at least I was never allowed to go inside the temple, but the Brahmins were quite nice, and they would allow you to stand just at the door of the temple, and they would even hold the lights. It's sort of like some distance inside. But the Brahmins were quite nice, and they'd even hold the lights so that you could see the form of the deity inside. And last year in Kartik, when we were on Prikram with His Holiness Indra Govinda Maharaj, when we were in Puri, we were informed by Madhavananda Prabhu that some devotees had done something bad at Alalanath. Or maybe they tried to force their way in or something like that. And so now the Brahmins, they don't allow the devotees to come on their property any longer. That's a special temple. Alalanath is a deity of Narayan. And he's standing there with 4 arms. But Acharyas explain that form of Alalanath is the form of Narayan that the young ladies of Vrindavan saw at the time of the Rasa dance. You know, there's the story that Krishna, he vanished from their association during the dancing performance. And then the young girls, they went looking for Krishna, and they came across Narayan. You read that in Chaitanya Charitamrita? I think in Chaitanya Charitamrita is written. They came across Narayan, and the young girls, they basically just saw Lord Narayan, and they said, Namo Narayan. They said, have you seen Krishna? And Narayan basically put up forearm and he said, he went that way. And the gopis, they were already so distraught with separation and the madness of separation, they just started running, looking for Krishna. And then Srimati Radharani came, and when she was approaching, Narayan was standing there. But